What was the best "do you know who I am" moment you've experienced? I'm 24 and look even younger, especially in my usual uniform of hoodies and sneakers. Last month, I got called to fix a critical system failure at the city's main courthouse during a high-profile trial. The case had been all over the news for weeks. I got the emergency call while grabbing coffee. The voice on the phone was frantic. "We need you here now. The whole trial is at a standstill. We've got national media, the governor's office watching, and if we can't access the evidence files, we might have to declare a mistrial." I threw on my usual hoodie and rushed over in my beat-up Honda. The courthouse was surrounded by news vans and protesters. I had to push through a crowd of reporters just to reach the entrance. Inside, it was chaos. Lawyers were pacing the hallways, court staff were running around with panicked expressions, and I could hear raised voices coming from multiple directions. I walked into the IT room where 3 older technicians were frantically trying to restore the crashed database. Sweat was dripping down their faces as they stared at screens full of error messages. The head of IT, this pompous guy in an expensive suit, immediately blocked my path. "Excuse me, kid, this is a restricted area. The cafeteria is on the 2nd floor." I told him I was the consultant they called for emergency support. He actually laughed out loud. "Right, and I'm the judge. Security." One of the technicians looked up from his computer. "Sir, maybe we should check if—" "I don't have time for this," the IT head snapped. "We've got the Attorney General's office breathing down our necks." 2 guards appeared as he continued. "We've got senators and media here today. We can't have random college kids wandering around pretending to be experts." I tried showing him my consultant ID, but he waved it away without looking. "Anyone can fake those. Do you have any idea what's at stake here?" Behind him, I could see the technicians were making the problem worse, corrupting more data files. "Listen," I said, "your guys are about to permanently damage the evidence database. Let me just—" "Enough!" he shouted. "I've been doing IT for 20 years. I know panic when I see it, and I know troublemakers." Through the glass window, I could see court officers rushing back and forth. Someone mentioned the judge was threatening to declare a mistrial within the hour if they couldn't access the evidence files. A court clerk burst into the room. "Any progress?" "The defense attorneys are circling like vultures out there." She looked right past me to the IT head, treating me like I was invisible. The IT head shook his head grimly. "We're still waiting for our specialist to arrive." The clerk groaned and rushed back out without giving me a second glance. I pulled out my phone and stepped aside. "I need to make a call," I said quietly, but nobody was paying attention to me anymore. In the lobby, I could hear announcements over the intercom about technical difficulties. Reporters were interviewing frustrated lawyers. 10 minutes later, the courthouse administrator came rushing down with the chief judge himself. They looked frantic. "Where's our database specialist?" the IT head demanded, appearing in the lobby. The administrator pointed directly at me. "That's her. I've never seen someone's face change color so fast." "But he's just a kid. I thought—" The judge stepped forward. "Dr. Michaels, we're desperate. Can you save this trial?" The IT head tried to backtrack. "Your Honor, I was just being cautious about security. You turned away our only hope," the administrator interrupted coldly. I walked back upstairs. 5 minutes later, everything was running perfectly. All the evidence files were restored, the database was more stable than before, and I'd even optimized their backup system. The same guy who called security ended up begging me not to mention his misunderstanding to his supervisors. "Please, I've got kids to feed. I was just trying to protect the building." I gathered my things without responding. The administrator caught up with me at the exit. "Dr. Michaels, I can't apologize enough. We'll make sure this never happens again." I just nodded and walked back to my beat-up Honda.